Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we will be presenting the finding on our interview session with the senior teacher in elementary school on the application of CEFR in Malaysia. So our group consists of me, myself, Ahmad Damiri bin Syamsuddin, Nur Adillah binti Muhammad Jamil, and Ain Nur Batrisha binti Nurdin. So there are two main interview question that we have give that we have asked the senior teachers, which are what are the roles of teacher in implementing the new curriculum, and also what are the challenges or issues in curriculum faced by the teachers during teaching and learning session. So today I will be presenting my part on the role of teacher in implementing the new curriculum. So in this part, I have divided it into three main parts, which are teacher as analyst, teacher as practitioner, and also teacher as evaluators. So without further ado, let's go to the first. So teacher as analyst. This is to ensure the suitability of teaching materials in teaching and learning. So this includes every single material that available, whether provided by the school or in our own findings. So in this case, teacher needs to develop their own lesson plan and activities so that it meets their objective successfully. And teacher as analyst also involve the management of social interaction. In this case, the senior teacher emphasizes on the to observe and making adjustment of pupil behavior, because social interaction is also a part of learning. So the second part is the teacher as practitioners. So in our interview session, the senior teacher really focuses on the application of 21st century learning. So in this case, the teacher need to implement their knowledge and skill in teaching and learning so that they can apply the 21st century learning for their student. So the new pedagogical concept of teaching and learning focusing on the 21st century learning comprises creativity and collaborative approach to learning. So it is also will promote lifelong and deep learning. So teacher need to understand the concept and know when to apply it based on the pupil's level. So some of the skill in 21st century learning are collaborative problem solving, creativity, hands-on learning, ICT literacy, leadership, and critical thinking, and many more. These are the skills that teachers need to have in their teaching and learning objective, so that the student will get the benefit in the future. And lastly, teacher as evaluators. In this case, teacher as evaluators function in the choices of school textbook selection. So English subject in elementary school uses CEFR aligned textbook. Hence, it is important that the content of the textbook is to be mastered and comprehended by the teacher so that they can modify it based on our context in Malaysia. This is because CEFR aligned textbook does not meet our context as the multiracial country which have cultural diversity and so on. So it is our job to modify and evaluate the effectiveness of CEFR aligned textbook. This is also teacher as evaluators also involved in the evaluating the school programs that relate to curriculum, such as highly immersive program for English subject. So here teacher need to identify the strengths and weaknesses for the program for future betterment, and not only participating in the program without any guideline and so on. So that's all for the roles of teacher in implementing new curriculum. So we will move to the challenges that we have come across. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Next, I, Nur Adila binti Muhammad Jamil from TSL2 will present the challenges and issues in curriculum faced by teachers in teaching and learning session. So based on the interview that we did last time, one of the challenges and issues that has been mentioned by the interviewee is teachers' motivation. So the lack of motivation in implementing the new change or the curriculum are caused by several factors. So let's look at these factors. One of the factors is anxiety and stress. Most of the teachers they felt anxious and stressed out because they thought the change of curriculum would lead to a series of change or big changes inside of their life as a teacher. For example, the way they teach inside the classroom, the assessment, the method, and many more. The interviewee said that at the first time when they were announced about the changes, they were already stressed out because of this. The new changes make them feel anxious because many things will have to change because of the change in the curriculum. This undesirable feeling is what makes them feel demotivated to implement the CEFR inside the classroom. The next factor that leads to the lack of motivation of teachers is limited knowledge of CEFR. This challenge or issue is especially faced by the teachers who have served for many years and experience in the previous curriculum, which is KBSR. They feel pressure to make sense or to understand about the CEFR. The teacher sometimes can feel demotivated, especially when they don't know what they are doing inside the classroom. We as a teacher, as we know that we have to be the one that in charge inside the classroom. We have to be the manager, the guidance, the implementer, and many more. So when we don't know what we are doing inside the classroom, we have no idea what we are doing inside the classroom, we can feel demotivated easily. So this group of teachers, they try to grasp the whole CEFR thing, but having one problem after another, trying to understand about CEFR is what contributes to the lack of motivation. The uncertainty, fear, and confusion among teachers that limit the teachers' motivation to implement the CEFR or new curriculum inside the classroom. So I think that's all for from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, I am Ainur Batrisha and I will proceed the presentation with the second challenge in implementing CFR during teaching and learning session based on the interview that we have conducted with the senior teachers recently. So, in the interview, the senior teacher stated that some of the teachers face difficulties in designing class activities based on the CFR descriptors. This is the example of the CFR descriptors that need to be followed by the teachers in the current curriculum. So there is the category of the students like proficient user, independent user, basic user, and then the band like C2, C1, B2, B1, A2, and A1, and the objective or the can-do tasks that they need to be fulfilled by the students in order to achieve the band. In order to implement the current curriculum, which is the CFR in teaching and learning session, the teachers found that they had limited understanding on how to implement the CFR, as some of them might not fully understand the teaching approach. In addition, some of the teachers did not get the opportunities to attend workshops or seminars related to the implementation of CFR. Therefore, they need to read on their own and revise the CFR document, which are too lengthy and overwhelming for them to read and understand in depth. Besides, it is also difficult for them to design the class activities as the main reference, which is the textbooks. The teachers said that the textbooks are not suitable to Malaysian culture and students' real-life situation. The teachers also stated that the content of the textbooks is too limited and they have to work harder on their own to expand it. And alongside with the workload that they already have, it means they need to their workload is increasing here. So furthermore, the content limits the learning and creative potential of pupils and teachers. For example, the topic of the Easter and Valentine's Days, these topics are concern for our culture in Malaysia, which is most of the or majority of the students are Malay in the school. Lastly, in the interview, the senior teachers told us that pupils in rural area already difficult to study local textbooks, so it will be harder for them to adapt or to learn with super minds and get smart, as these books are imported from overseas. This is because the level of the language in the textbook are quite high for the local student, especially those who are come from the rural area. So we have come to the end of the presentation. As we all know, teachers, who themselves are the true agent of the reformation in the curriculum, should be given the right support in addressing challenges. So it is important to learn or to listen from the teachers on their opinion of the curriculum implementation. So the conclusion is, stakeholders involved have to come together to lend support to ensure that good implementation of CFR syllabus to prepare our young generation to become competent users of the English language. Okay, that's all from us. So this is a picture of us with the senior teachers, teachers 9 during our interview session. Thank you.